There we are. Hello and welcome to, I suppose, what's going to be separated between two things. The nerd word, more than likely, and then possibly a hype video for the EP that me and my boy Battle have coming up very soon, which leads me directly into an introduction for one of my favorite people, best friends, awesome producers that I know and you will ever meet. Lord Battle Beats himself. How you doing, man?
Hey man, thanks for the lovely intro. That was awesome. And just one thing that just came to my mind is it's crazy nowadays how the power of the internet is that good where we was able to meet and become really good close friends and best friends and music makers, and we've just made an EP which is amazing, and it's just crazy how awesome the internet is. So I'm really excited to talk about the EP today.
Oh, bro, I'm super excited too, and it's nuts because the internet is like both very good and then sometimes toxic, but on this front it's awesome because we were able to meet each other, become really good friends, and just work on our craft together and build and grow, and now we've made something that I am super proud of. It's kind of like you don't know where it's going to end up whenever you
Mm.
start, but then it starts to the pieces of the puzzle start to just flow and fit together, and man, I don't know if you saw that. I mean, of course you had to, right? You saw that on your end whenever we were
Mm.
putting together the
Yeah,
the puzzle pieces.
definitely. It was at first it was okay. I've got to make a lot of beats, and I've got to try and make them in a different way that's going to suit you. And it was just a really fun process because basically when the EP started, when we started really thinking about the EP, that's when sort of COVID came and we ended up going into a bit of a lockdown. So the awesome thing was in the UK, if you worked in a place that wasn't like essential, you was put on a thing called furlough, which basically means the government paid your wages. So,
Mm.
since March, I've been on furlough, but right at the very start, I had like all the time in the world to like put my everything into these beats. And I generally think they're some of the best beats that I've ever made. And they're exclusively just going to be on this EP. So
Mm.
it was, in a way, COVID. Yes, it's been bad. A lot of people have had a lot of bad experiences, but for this EP, it's actually been brilliant because both been able to put our all into it, and yeah, it's just awesome.
And plus, I love our process of figuring out the way we want certain things to sound, or
Mm.
going back and forth, being like, okay, well, we know we want this type of guitar and this emotion for this beat. And then you send me something, and then I'm like, well, could we do this? And you're like, what about this? And I'm like, oh man, that's even better than what I was expecting. And
Mm.
that part of the process is almost equally as fun as the writing and then figuring out the way we want that to sound after you start mixing and mastering and doing all
Mm.
your battle magician, your magic.
Magic tricks, sprinkling on the little fairy dust of awesomeness. But anyway,
Yeah.
so what would the EP mean to you then, as the artist?
You know what's insane about that is that I don't think that when we first started making this, whenever like the songs were coming together and we came up with the title Low Highs, I mean, low highs to me had a meaning. Yes, it was you're gonna have lows, highs, and your emotions in between. But it so many things have happened to me this year that have been really good and really bad, really high and really low. The more time passes and the more this year has progressed, the more this EP has actually meant to me and like
Mm.
hits harder, it seems, each and every single day. It's kind of like whenever yeah, did you ever listen to a song whenever you were younger and you were like, okay, this is a cool song, but then you have something happen to you later in your life, and then you go back and you listen to that song again, and then what they're saying, you're like, oh, okay, now that's actually really sad, or whatever it may be, that they just, maybe you didn't fully, like, you knew what they were saying, but you didn't fully comprehend it yet because you hadn't gone through it yourself.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a parallel to the way that I feel about this EP. Is it's just like I was making it and I was feeling it, but the more time was passing and we were crafting it, and the more things were happening to me as we were working on the project, the more it was becoming, whoa, this is eerily accurate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And without going into any details on, the things that's happened, just because there's no point. I think if you're going to encompass what the EP means, it is low highs, meaning you have low times in your life and you have high times in your life. Things don't always go so great. Things go great, and it's like a repeat cycle. This is how it is for everyone. And the just in terms of just the beats on the projects, there's really hard trap beats, and then there's softer boom bap sort of beats too. So it really is a musical journey of just the beats, and then the way that the lyrics are on top of the beats as well, and the way that you've rapped and you've written to those beats. Then the whole song and the whole EP is a journey of that low high sort of idea that this EP brings. And the more that you go through life, I've just turned 27, and I've realised,
happy birthday.
We're exactly 1 week. I'm 1 week older exactly, which is super.
Which that's crazy too.
Yeah. So maybe we need to write an EP which is called 7 Days, something like that. Seven tracks. Hey. 7 tracks, 7 days.
Here's what the track names will be. It'll be Monday through Sunday.
Yes, exactly. But that whole idea of low highs is just life. And as I've grown up, I've realised I always wanted things to be just awesome and hype. When I was younger, I used to be just super crazy positive, and then things have happened in my life where I've just realised, you know what, life does throw its curveballs, but you do get through it eventually, but you have to experience the lows to get to the highs, and that is fundamentally one of the best things about this EP, is that it just encompasses life really in general. That's awesome.
The way that we're able to match each other's energy too is crazy, because like you said, there's some tracks that are harder, and there's some tracks that are more boom bap, and then I feel what you've created and then what I've created, we're able to match each other's energy really well. So if there is a track I'm not going to give too much away, but if there's a track like Natural State, the lyrics are going to be different than something like But What Do I Know? You know what I'm saying? So it's the other thing too is when we made our last project together, Rap and Meditate, that one was more of a concept that you followed from point to end, and then this one is musically a journey, which is a concept, but a different type of concept. So we are able to connect things and make similarities between the sounds while doing something completely different in each track, which I'm pretty impressed with.
Yeah, I think we've done a really good job. And what's really cool is the fact that I personally think I've got better at making beats and mixing and mastering and things, and I think that you've definitely got better at writing and rapping and creating melodies over beats as well. And I think because we've worked really closely together, we've been able to encourage each other and make each other better. That's one of the best things that I like about LeBron James, is he always makes his teammates better. And I feel like that's what we do. We make each other better. And that is awesome as well.
You said you had to bring up LeBron James, didn't you?
Yeah, of course I did.
You
Absolutely.
said I had to bring up my boy, the king.
Exactly.
Yeah. Go Rockets.
Yeah, bro. How's that? 4-1 in the second round.
Hey, look, let's just concentrate on the fact that we're making awesome music over here. No need to focus on the past. It's in the past now. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But I don't think we've actually said when it's dropping. When's this EP releasing?
I feel like November 30th. It's so crazy because we've been talking about it for a while, and then in my videos I'd be like, EP coming soon. But I think now that we have it done, finished, I'm ready for people to hear it. So I think November 30th is going to be a good time. It's like both of our birthdays, you know what I'm saying, are close to each other. It's right there in the month of November, and it's at the very end, which is kind of like what we did with Rap and Meditate, which was the very end of February, but we did it because the 29th. So I think doing the 30th of November, which is like the birth month, is super cool. I don't know. What you think that's a good release date?
I think that's a good idea, and it gives us enough time to make content leading up to it, to build hype and stuff like that.
And finish up our videos.
Yeah, we've got some music videos coming too. We've got one more to sort of film, and then the first one that we've done needs final edit.
Yeah,
which is good. But that's exciting. So it's about a month away, and man, it's going to be awesome.
We out here grinding, working. And
Definitely.
the I'm just excited for it to be up too, especially like on Spotify and all that jazz, because Rap and Meditate and the HEB track have been sitting there lonely, and I feel like the artwork too is gonna look really good on the like the streaming places, like with Rap and Meditate, and then the Low Highs art. I feel like they're just gonna look really good whenever you're going to like look for the music, you know what I'm saying? Like next to each other.
Yeah.
Like Rap and Meditate had like some oranges and purples and like those glowing colors, and then Low Highs has like these slightly more matte, like red and blacks and dark colors. So I'm just like, yeah.
Slightly autumnal.
Yes.
Which November is still autumn, right? I'm not sure.
Hey, depends where you're at, huh? In Texas, weather doesn't abide by normal rules. It'll be 100 degrees during the day, and then it will drop to just near, like when I'm in the woods at Renaissance Festival and I'm camping, I swear it's getting down to almost freezing. I'm like, well, time to cover up extra in my tent. But the I guess we can give a track list, huh? Just the titles at least. So
yeah, absolutely.
So the way that it's gonna go, guys, is there are 7 tracks. It's gonna start with Blinds, all right, and then we're gonna go to Feed. But what do I know? Step Back. Natural State, Say Something, and Cut Ties. What is your favorite song, Battle? So they will, whenever they go to listen to it, they'll be like, "Oh, this is Battle's favorite track."
Well, my favorite track is Step Back, and at first it was the beat that I made that is it's the most different to the rest of the EP. And at first I was like, I didn't particularly like it that much. I thought, out of all the beats I made, I thought this was the one that wasn't going to work as good as it would. But then you rapped on it, and then once I was mixing it and got into it, it just hit really hard, and just the hook is catchy. And from like as soon as the drums start to when the song ends, your head's just going like up and down, like
it's so funny. I was already bobbing. Like whenever you like, I was already like, cause its energy is like, ah, 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 ah. And
That's my favorite. But what about yours? What's your favorite track?
I think that my favorite track is. All right, I'm gonna tell you what my favorite track is, and then a close second, and they have very different feels to them. My favorite
Mhm.
is "But What Do I Know," just because I love like the well-roundedness of the track.
Mhm.
I feel like as far as like it's the one that got stuck in my head lyrically the fastest. So that's how I know I must have enjoyed it the most, because my brain already connected the things that were what I would
Mhm.
say next, what I would say next. I didn't have to, because you have to like repeat and go over and study my tracks, especially if I ever want to go on stage and perform and do stuff like that. I better know my own lyrics. Uh,
Absolutely.
but what do I know? Front to back, pretty quickly, everything just kind of snapped together. And then I'll say a close second, I really love Natural State. I
Mhm.
like Natural State.
It has.
yeah, it's got some hardness behind it. And there's like it's hard, but then also has like some nerd references in there. So if you can
Mm.
see and hear the nerd parts, you're like, "Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I see you slipping in the nerd core bars."
Yeah, and the cool thing on the production side of that track is it's actually the shortest song, but the vocal production on it is different to any of the other songs,
Mhm.
which sounds really cool. Which is going to be awesome for you to hear.
You
It's got
surprised
more.
me. You surprised me with that too. Like whenever I sent it to you, that was not what I was expecting whenever you sent it back. And I was also, wasn't that the one that was, as far as, cuz you know how sometimes we're emailing each other back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Wasn't that one just like
Mm,
I sent it to you and you sent it back, and I was like, that's it. That's done.
yeah, sometimes most of the songs have had like 3 to 4 mix variations,
Mhm.
whereas I think Natural State was kind of just it on the first or
Oh
second one. I can't
man.
remember.
Crazy. It was just like I heard it and I was like, "Oh, I see what you did there, Battle. I see what you did there, and that's awesome." All right, we're good.
An honourable mention though,
Honorable mention.
um, are the last 2 songs. Say Something is an awesome song. It's got like a really Middle Eastern vibe to it, which is awesome. I think you're gonna love it. And then the last song, Cut Ties, is just like in your face. Like if you want to finish off with a bang, this is Cut Ties. It's just like metal trap. It's insane. Um,
Isn't that
which is
isn't that isn't
awesome.
that kind of crazy that you were able to like say that those two things in the same sentence? You said six is more of a Middle Eastern track, and then the final one is metal trap. Like the fact that you were able to say those two sentences next to each other, I think that just shows like our creative process is wild.
Mhm. Yeah, we don't like to be boxed in.
Nah.
One thing that I particularly don't like that much is just your typical trap beats that the millions of producers are just trying to get
Mm-hmm.
sell and things, and they're just boring. They're just the same melody, the same drums, and it's just that's it. I always try and make my beats a little bit more interesting, adding things like Middle Eastern percussion vibes, or making something really metal and hard, or
Mm-hmm.
just making something sound really different. That's kind of what I love to do, which I think is why we work great together as well. Is because your style of rapping and sort of singing is sort of melodic, and that pairs really well with me because I'm a melodic kind of guy.
Man, we can't shout out Legend enough. He knew. Legend knew before anybody that me and you were gonna
Mm,
click, which is crazy
yeah, he did, yeah, which is crazy. I
because
can't wait for him to hear this EP.
oh
His
yeah,
mind's gonna be blown.
he gonna be like, what have they been doing?
Mm, definitely.
Making music, but my battery is fixing to die, so we're just gonna make this a quick one. Um, any last things you want to talk about before we go, Battle?
All I'll say is,
Mm-hmm.
be ready to hear something completely different to what you've heard before. We've poured our heart and soul into this project, and we're going to be dropping bits of content each week leading up to it on Wyatt's channel. So make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you keep an eye out on that, because it's going to be every week, and it's going to be awesome. We really want to build a momentum for this EP, because we think that you guys are going to really, really like it, because we've created something that we're really proud of. So yeah, make sure you check it out on the 30th of November.
Man, back Wyatt WN Backyard Fitness and Stuff. Battle Beats. Hey, visit my buddy, his channel, and if you listen to this EP and you don't want a beat, then you must not be making music.
Yeah, just listen to them instead.
All right, we'll let you go. My camera died, so that's how I know it's time to go. Until next time, this has been the Nerd Word. Thank you guys. Thank you, Battle.
Thank you.
All
See
right.
you later.
Later, bro.